Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about virtual events. So 2 years ago, when COVID hit, what did that do to our business?
Stopped it for a bit.
Yeah. Who felt nervous about how we're going to conduct cooking experiences and virtual events? Yeah. But we adapted really quickly, didn't we? Yeah. And we quickly learned that we could still run our business on a virtual level, and we could still service our customers and provide exactly the same opportunities in a virtual space. Over the last 2 years, what I've been hearing from our consultants and our team leaders is that our customers are zoomed out. So whilst we've been conducting the cooking experiences on a Zoom basis, I think they were getting a bit over it. So what we started to do in our branch was brainstorm. How can we meet the customers where they're at? They're busy, or they've got kids at home, they're homeschooling, they may not be able to jump on a Zoom at 1 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night. So one thing that we actually talked about was providing a Facebook group or Facebook event, a little bit similar to, like, has anyone ever been a part of a Body Shop or a Scentsy online party?
Yeah.
No? Okay. So it's
basically Fields that have done one.
Yeah.
And I bought some skincare products from them. And so it was all set up as a Facebook event. I got to invite my friends, and we all jumped on that Facebook link with our glass of champagne on a Saturday afternoon.
Perfect. Perfect. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So what we decided to do is just sort of think outside that box. Don't just have that cooking experience with the Zoom, but do something different for our customers. So we created these short, sharp Facebook events where the host would be the actual host on the event, but invite their guests and customers to that Facebook event. The consultant or the team leader would then pop in little lives or short, sharp cooking experiences or a video of the blade cover peel or whatever it might be. I might bring Amanda up if that's all right, because Amanda was using this with her team and did have a lot of success. So I would love, if that's okay, if you could just explain a little bit more how you conduct it in your team.
Yeah, and I have to say the inspiration actually came from other consultants in our branch, including Bernadette. So I just grabbed their idea and ran with it. But what I really loved about it was one of the things that came up with virtual events was about building rapport to be able to connect with your customers, hence the little bit of feeling zoomed out. But to start the event, we would just go in, we would create a group. We had some really great templates that we can work with. And I would just go in and schedule. So I didn't even have to think about it. I was actually scheduling it out. So that there was a couple of posts a day that would go out. And the information was actually the posts that were going up. I designed in order for you to collect the information you would normally get in the first 20 minutes or so when you're building rapport with your customers. Who are you cooking for? What do you enjoy about cooking, etc. So we were able to go through and do that, and it allowed us to connect. And then we had a Facebook event within that private group, and they were able to go through, and we did a live. So it was a Facebook live, and that also meant that if your friends couldn't join you at that particular time, they could go back and watch, which was really great because it was recorded. They were able to come back and see, or if there's something they wanted to see again. But in the post, if they were talking about the fact that they're cooking for families, I would share, or they have trouble feeding their kids vegetables, I would share the video of me making hidden veg meatballs. If they said they love curries, but they, do them from a jar, I would share the creamy coconut chicken curry video. So you were able to share short, sharp videos. And by the time I jumped onto a live, so I actually did them via Zoom and was able to cast to the live. So I was able to interact with the people who were on at the time. And in Zoom, I was able to jump on, and I'd already built a rapport and was able to have a conversation with these customers. And it also meant that other consultants would come in. Once I had one group set up, it was just copy and paste to keep going. Didn't even have to think about it, just had to respond to comments on there. And part of the host coaching is actually to encourage them to engage and interact with their guests that they've invited into that group as well. You can even do this for your face-to-face. It doesn't just have to be for virtual events. You can use this to build rapport with your customers before you even meet them.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
Are you able to share the template?
Yeah, so Bernadette from our branch kindly shared some of her templates.
Yeah, so we've got a really good Zoom recording of Bernadette sharing where the templates are, how she creates the group, so we can ask her, and I'm sure she would absolutely share.
And Hannah, what I did for my team was I actually went through and I created a mock group, group/event, which then they were able to reference, simply copy and paste across. And it was also an example to show them what a typical week, how the post was scheduled and how to engage. But it basically gave us the first half of our flip chart for the welcome and getting to know them.
And then, oh, sorry, can I just ask, then say you were doing the event over a week, at the end of the week, did you then share the quiet link, the offers?
That was all shared in the group, and then you could also use the group to continue to follow up and share more information off the back of questions they were asking in the booking experience. So it was a way to engage and still be able to continue on a group basis, but also on a one-on-one basis through, you can message them because you're then connected with them through Facebook as well.
Available on Instagram, or is it just a Facebook?
Just a Facebook thing, I think.
So is the aim to just do it on there, or does it then lead to a cooking experience? You wouldn't necessarily have to then meet or.
No, you wouldn't need to. No.
The videos.
That would be your cooking experience per se, you know, like, because how many times do you book in a cooking experience with a busy mum and you say, okay, 2 p.m. on Saturday, but the kid's sick or sleeping and she ends up cancelling. This way, she can watch it at 11 o'clock at night and it's all there for her. So once all the kids have gone to bed, okay, she couldn't get to that cooking experience, so she's in this group. She can watch all the little training of the cooking experiences, all the lives, all the rundown of the machine, and it's all there for her reference and her time.
One thing though, just like with the booking experience, we don't like too many guests because it makes it very difficult sometimes to connect with them. So you don't want them to go and invite 30 different people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? If you have 3 different groups of people, let's do 3 cooking experience events. You can invite your different groups. It's going to, that way we can do things relevant.
Yeah.
And that's 3 host rewards for you as well. But one of the things, the slight tweak I did on it was, rather than doing it straight live onto Facebook, I did it via Zoom, and Zoom actually has a function that allows you to cast to Facebook. So I was able to do it and interact with the guests who were on there through Zoom. But then it was, if someone just wanted to jump in the group, they'd see the live happening and they can always rewatch it later as well.
Yeah, and we found this was a really good tool for new consultants that were afraid of Zoom. So the team leader and the consultant would buddy up together for the first group and really lead them into that virtual space. And you also, as consultants get scared of Zoom, you also have customers that are really afraid to show their face. So you'd find that you'd have cooking experiences on Zoom and the customer would have their camera off, they wouldn't ask questions, they wouldn't be engaged. At least in a Facebook group, they can actually ask those questions in a comment or under a video. And we found that everyone that's used it in our branch has actually had success.
Yeah, it sounds bad. I don't know. I'm just,
Do you leave the group open? Like, does it close?
Personal choice, you can leave just like any group unless you close it. However, it can be a really great tool for the follow-up. And oh, by the way, guys, I know you mentioned about if this offer becomes available, or FYI, we have this coming up, I thought of you. So you can leave it there and people can continue to ask questions in their own sort of little support group as well.
Yeah.
You can sort of say, as you know, this session's coming to an end, it's been open for a month now, please jump over to my personal business page.
Definitely.
or you can just say use text, you want us to open for your own.
Yeah.
Like so you can get your own host rewards by in one of these events.
And the reason we sort of brainstormed this was because we were getting a lot of feedback that a lot of new consultants were feeling quite anxious and nervous about conducting a cooking experience in the virtual space. So we found this was a different option for them, and they were able to excel and do really well.
And it really did take some of the nerves out. The rapport was probably the biggest thing that we were receiving objections from our teams about. And so the ability to be able to build that rapport ahead of time over a period of time, they're a lot more comfortable then to be able to interact and talk with these people. It wasn't just a cold introduction on the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, ladies. Thank you so much.
The only other thing I was going to quickly share is YouTube. If you haven't got a YouTube channel, I would really recommend either as a branch or as a team, because what we have found is every cooking class that we have run virtually, we've recorded. And then we've been able to collate them all on our channel, and then our customers can go back for reference. So sometimes, again, if they register for a cooking class, they can't make it because they're in ISO and they've got kids or homework or homeschooling, you can say, oh, that's okay. We've actually recorded it, jump onto our YouTube channel, and here are all our cooking classes.
Great resource.
Mm.
And it also works for when a customer rings you and says, look, can it do this?
Yeah, yeah.
And say, look, check it out here, because we can talk until we're blue in the face, but them actually seeing it in action is going to be good for them.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly right. Proof is in the pudding. Like I mentioned that story with Bev the other day. You know, the customer was wasn't ready to purchase, was unsure about trading up. Bev directed her to a pre-recorded cooking class, and she called Bev up afterwards and said, I'm ready to trade up.
Do you make the YouTube a private channel so they have to be invited?
No, we've got a public. Yeah.
So anyone can comment?
Yeah, look, there has been 1 or 2 comments where it's spam, but you just block that. But it's not too bad. We just, and you know, anything that comes out from head office, there's a lot of really good resource videos that come out from head office. We've added those to that as well. Yeah.
And you know, the other great thing is that you're not searching through files trying to find them. They're always in the one place.
Yeah, so we've got blade cover, we've got Varoma as a header, we've got steak.
Because obviously when I was consulting, that was steak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the, I think there was a fitness one, so.
Yeah, keto. Yeah, so you know, a real range of classes for our customers.
What is your?
Connects, branch, blue.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
Got it on there, we've got to say.
yeah.
I'd love to see it too.
Mm. Yeah.
Sean Brad, we need to set up that.
We do.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was a rookie. We only put it together the end of last year, September maybe. But we have found it's really beneficial. Yeah, and we could go back to and see what classes we've done, and then go, okay, yeah, well, you know what, we haven't done something around chocolate, or we haven't done this, so let's do this.
You know, the other thing it can really do, and always thinking of developing leaders, you can actually see how people grow.
Yeah.
Progress, as they become more confident,
Yeah.
and then use it as a recognition tool.
Mm. Yeah.
Thank you, that was awesome.
Thanks, Matt.
Try
Me?
Cocktail.
no cocktails now.
Yeah, just